Hey guys, me again. First of all, thank you for all your comments. Much appreciated, because as much as my brain goes, I'll pick you more. I know that watching a video during the week is kind of a lot, and also the more views it gets, the more it gets noticed on YouTube. So I thank you very much. And so whatever you can do, thank you. And the thing I wanted to talk about briefly is, honestly, and anyone who's able-bodied, correct me if I'm wrong. And I love your feedback on this observation, even if you think I'm not wrong. But I often find that there's a lot of fear around disability because of the idea of lack of mobility. The weakest of the ones get not do well in Darwin's theory. And so I understand it can be very scary. And I think that's what sometimes advocacy for disability has trouble with. At least in my view, like even my own disability thing in my town here, I often say we have to remember the people who we really need to reach are the people outside this room. And because the people who are already there are like the parents, people with disabilities like myself. So we know the difficulties, we know the policy things. But if we don't break past the fear that anyone outside the disability circle has, then we'll never get anywhere. Because fear, or as Jessica Cox said in that wonderful interview, fear is the false evidence appearing real. So when people see me, I think a lot of the times they see me as this person who got dealt like a hard hand and has to put a brave face, or like, and a lot of the times I do, like I was saying yesterday, but there's a lot of times I wake up and it's just like spasm again, you know, and so we gotta be real about it. And to be quite honest, I've lived in this body for 29 years now, and I was born with it. And I think it's a blessing, I truly do. At the same time, it's okay for me to hold a contention that sometimes when I just spasm out of nowhere and it feels like a knife's in my back, it's scary. It's absolutely terrifying to be this vulnerable on YouTube. Even though I made that promise to myself. It's kind of like the cold shower thing that some people do. I've tried, and I can go lukewarm, but I can't go freezing. For all those who can, I have deep respect for you. But the point is, I've heard a lot of people say that it's not like I jump in there going, woohoo, time for my cold shower. It's more like, I know this is good for me, but here, you know, I think that's the same with me right now, is I hate acknowledging the fear. I may come at me, trolls, like, you know, don't mess with me, but on the inside, after I post those videos, I always have to prepare, okay, I might be sieged by all these trolls who say that I sound whiny, or say that I'm not supposed to exist. Fortunately, I haven't had that. but one of the first chores is say, I can fix her, and it's just like, I'm gonna do with you without saying anything, but at the same time, to be this vulnerable and to face rejection every single day, like Steph, there are some times when I don't keep things from those I love, but it takes me a while to be brave enough to say, hey mom, here's what I'm doing, and it's not that my mom's anything but awesome, because she is, but at the same time, there's this heightened sense of, I need other people, and if they disagree, then I can't go somewhere, or I can't do something. Like, sometimes, to be honest, when I get feeling confined, I can get envious of K Fox because he was able to go, Mom, I'm doing this next final, slam the door, and I don't have that option. I can get mad, yeah. I can yell, yeah. But I don't have the option that says I'm doing this without some level of approval from my family members because I need them for my activities. I at least need them to close my door while I'm in a Zoom meeting, which does give me a lot of freedom now. Like, Zoom has given me such a freedom because I can finally go, like, Terry and say, hey mom, I have a Zoom meeting this afternoon, I'll talk to you later, instead of, Mom, can I go to this place in town to have this meeting, so it does help me be grown up in that way. But yeah, sometimes it's still tough because I do have this dream of, like, of being this place that people can go to, and find their voices. I think so many times people just fucking get caught up in, oh, what will people think? I'm gonna be rejected. So what I'm going through is nothing special. Okay, I'm not special. Everybody goes through these fears of rejection. Everybody has that kind of break with their parents. That's not easy. It's not disability related. But at the same time, it definitely feels heightened. And I think, but to get back to the fear, I think even though it terrifies me to be dishonest, it's my hope that in being dishonest, people can be able to come to me later and say, you know what, to be honest, to hear your voice that way, to see your hands, it took me a moment. But now I see there's nothing to be afraid of. So I'm hoping my vulnerability will help others be more vulnerable and be more confident that disability is, I don't want to give the impression that I'm trying to have like ability blindness, because I do feel that that's a problem with our era, is that we're trying to be colorblind, we're trying to be sexuality blind. And if you honestly mean that as, I see you the same as everybody else, then great. But if you're trying to say, oh, we're all the same, we don't have different issues, no, we do. I have different issues than somebody who can walk. Like, for example, do they have enough people at the office to get me out of the bed this morning? That is something a person with complete physical bullying does not have to worry about, you know. And I think so. It's okay to be like inclusive. It's okay to say, you know what, I don't see a bully. You know, I don't see a difference, but you have to acknowledge it. You can't, like, it's difficult to put into words. Like, you don't have to specify disability in your mind. You don't have to make it like some outlier, but you do have to acknowledge the uniqueness of individuals so that what you offer them can actually be tailored to what they need. And I think that's part of the problem that sometimes I find is that even in a lot of places that house disability, it's for a certain type of, it's not for a level of quadriplegics. Or if it is, it's not for the same kind of mental capacity. So there's a lot of things to consider, and that can be really scary in itself too. So disability, I know when I ask people to think about it, I'm asking them to think about mortality, essentially, because I'm asking to think about limitation, and when do we experience the most limitation? At the beginning and at the end of our lives. so it's a very scary topic, and we need to be open to people's fears. Yes, we need to push them to kind of skip past it, but if we don't acknowledge that it's still there, then we'll never get anywhere, because then we can just come off like jerks. You know, and fear is a very difficult thing to acknowledge. Like, for the longest time, and I know every teenager goes through this, but again, it was heightened. For the longest time, I didn't acknowledge my disability. I'm just acknowledging it now, really. And how that limits my life in a lot of ways, how, you know, how that makes me truly dependent on other people, and the difficulties that can come with, and the fears about the future. And if I don't acknowledge that, I'll never get anywhere with trying to advocate that disability is okay. Disability can be integrated, because if we don't integrate the fear, we'll never get past it. And I'm not saying we have to keep the fear. What I mean by integration is we need to acknowledge that the fear is there. Just like for me as a Christian, I have to acknowledge that some people, because of ethnicity, because of background, because of harsh upbringings, you know, in the church, I have to acknowledge that some people, God going to work just isn't going to work. And while I can't please everyone, I have to acknowledge that saying Jesus loves you sounds like a sales pitch to somebody who was maybe abused by the church, or just never felt a connection. So while I'm not gonna stay quiet about such things, because I do believe spiritual is important, I do have to acknowledge the fears, and I think acknowledging the fears just really helps people be honest and be open to not only new ideas, but acknowledging the pain that they maybe don't even consciously know that's hindering them from something. You know, because I think people just come from this, oh, why aren't you being more inclusive when it comes to different minorities? And it's like, because I've never experienced somebody who can't feed themselves before. I've never experienced somebody who sounds like that, looks like that. And I think if we stop judging people's fears, I think that definitely, I know for myself, when I'm fearful, somebody going, oh, just get over it, you'll be fine, is a lot less helpful than like, I get it, don't worry, I'm sure you'll be fine. Here's a different perspective. Here's why I think your fears are gonna be, hopefully this massages your fears, you know, rather than just somebody going, don't be such a ninny, you know, don't be so scared. And it's just like, well, the news is basically saying we've got 20 years before climate happens or something like that. And that's just a mere example. But it's just like, if we don't acknowledge those fears, if we go from what Brene Brown defines with a sympathetic rather than an empathetic response to disability or to any difference, we push people away. And I'm sorry this is a longer one, so this will be my last video for the day, hopefully, if I can keep myself. But I hope that makes sense, and I'm interested to hear your comments on this one. Take care, everyone. God bless. Love you.